back at the cabin now with Chief. People were wondering where the fluffy dog was. He's right behind the camera now, ripping branches out of the ground, having a good time. He's tied up, so I'll keep an eye on him as the video goes on. But yeah, as of now, I wanted to do a little video discussing pretty much the future plans for next year and the future of the cabin. So let's get started with that. So as for the cabin itself, it's pretty much done. I don't think I'll add more additions to it. I will need to do a little plank or maybe even log siding onto it if the power generator stays there, but I'm happy with just a little cabin. That was my original plan. And then on the back side I did the workshop, so I'm pretty happy how all that stuff turned out. I didn't really want more. A lot of people ask me, why is the cabin so small? Why would you want it like that? Because that was the original plan, just to have a small hunter trapper style cabin. So pretty much cabin is done for now. So as of now, my my little power generator is covered up by this little tin roof that I've used to cover up literally everything, all the new equipment that I brought to the cabin since I was building the cabin. It works okay. I'm just not really a fan of it, just because it makes so much noise. I'm in the woods, I don't want to hear noise. I'm alone, I want to be at peace. That's how I like it. So artificial noise, especially gas powered and combustion engine, really just isn't really my thing. But if I ever need a whole lot of power, I have a power generator. So like I mentioned before, not gonna knock over the camera. Like I mentioned before, no. Come here, come. Come on, let's go. Come here, come. Alrighty. So the generator, like I was saying, not really great. It's great to have power, but I just don't really like it as a primary power source. I would just love to have at least 2 more solar panels, so 3 solar panels, and really make a flat area on the hill back there where the dog is. I'll show you guys after. And I have a subscriber that mentioned to make a little shed, so I could make a little plank shed, very simple, with 2x4s and just some pine planks. And I could just make myself a little shed, put the power generator in there, soundproof it, so it's going to be a lot further away from the cabin. I was also informed, and it's a good point, that's why we're reading comments, that's why I like doing it. It says the generator that close with the fumes from the exhaust, it could potentially be harmful. So I'm like, that's true. A log cabin isn't always super airtight, so obviously fumes and monoxide isn't always the best deal. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That would be the only add-on I would have thought about to the workshop in the back if I leave the generator there. But since I got a nice comment that suggested a shed further away, I think that would be a great idea. I could even put tools and stuff, even batteries for my solar panels that I would like to put over there. So let's move on over there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right up above here, I have this big tree that fell. It was green when I built the cabin. Now it's all rotten and punky. So I would really like to maybe just cut these down, clean up all these branches, move them further back, and possibly put some solar panels here, just so I could have a nice elevated ground area, a little bit higher than the cabin, and I could leave them on the ground. That's my next goal. I don't want them at all in a tree like that because they're fixed. They're not mobile, I can't follow the sun when they're on the ground. I could aim them at the sun. Second of all, I could clean them off during the winter when it will be my primary power source. That's just a little something to consider on my end, because when they're covered even in the winter and fall with leaves, it's just not a really optimal solution having them just high up in the tree. So this is what I mean. The cabin is in the back shot over here. This hill is higher than it's pretty much midway through the cabin. So there's a good, I'd say like 6 feet inclination, so it's not that bad. I really don't mind it. It is pretty flat. I need to cut maybe just a few trees to get some full solar panel coverage, but they are closer to saplings than trees, honestly. So I'll try my best to keep the bigger trees, but no promises on there. So for people that don't know, this is my solar panel aimed up there in that little hole of a clearing there for the sunlight. But there's all this, if I look here, all this potential wasted space here. And as you can see, the trees range probably from 2 inches to 4 to 5 max inches. So that would make some firewood, some timber, and possibly even some good building material in the bigger trees. Back here, I'd probably like to just, I was considering maybe put the shed here. I'm not sure. Maybe use some of the logs that I cut down for the solar panels. So the solar panels would be pretty much right where you guys are, solar panels. And then on top of this little mound of a hill here, I could put my little shed. But I'm not sure because the terrain is pretty uneven. But yeah. And it isn't also very far from the cabin. But I'll see what I could do. Next building would probably have to be an outhouse that I'd like to do. Just because sometimes, I usually always get comments about where do you go to the bathroom at. Pretty much anywhere, because it's just nature and I'm alone, so I don't really care. But I'll show you guys my next plan, probably the upcoming building where it's going to be. Next building would probably have to be around here, and that is my little outhouse, maybe even further back there, at the tip of where my land stops. Yeah, but yeah, I think it'd be it's not too far to walk from the cabin to the door. I'll show you guys where the cabin is. It's maybe 20-30 feet away. But yeah, it wouldn't be that bad. I think it'd make a good location. Only thing that's left to determine is if I could dig a hole, like a 4, 5, 6 foot hole for all the bathroom needs to go into. But that has yet to be determined. I have no idea. From a perspective point of view, that would be pretty much where the cabin is. So there you go. It's not that far, but I think it's a reasonable amount of distance away. That's pretty much it for this little short video. I just wanted to take some time to clear a few things out. I know that some people have always been wondering, like, what am I going to build? What's the next plans for the cabin? So a new year's coming up, so I think I'll have a pretty busy year. I'll come here as often as I can and put in as much work as I can and create all the content possible. So yeah, don't forget to share the channel. It really helps out a lot. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions, any questions. I'll try my best to answer it, and leave a like. It really helps out a lot.